How do you envision your role in this position contributing to the overall mission of our organization? Arctic Contracting is a construction company in the interior, and its current mission is to get its 8A status and its DBE for the state of Alaska. This would allow it to get government contracts that no one else is allowed to bid on because we're owned at least in majority part by a disadvantaged individual. My job as an office manager would be to take the office that is currently filled with boxes and files, scan all those in, find all of the documents that we need for our DBE and 8A applications, and get those turned into the state. The quicker that I'm able to do that, the quicker that we're able to turn a profit as a small business, which is incredibly important when you don't have a whole lot of startup capital to burn through. So I would get in there, I would start right away, and I would create a plan so that we were able to get this in as fast as possible. How would you go about establishing your credibility with the team? I personally don't feel that credibility is earned with a degree or with a job title. I think that those are all important things, but I think that credibility is earned with your attitude every day. If you come to work with a smile on your face and a can-do attitude, and then prove that you can do it and are happy to be there, it reflects to the people around you, and the people around you remember you as an employee or as an employer who was genuinely fun to be around and who did a solid, dependable, reliable job. And I would try and showcase that in my everyday work. What irritates you about other people and how do you handle it? Lots of people irritate me. People who stop at green lights irritate me. But in the workplace specifically, my biggest problem is people who don't want to be there and who act like their job is something that they deserve or earned and for whatever reason don't think that they have to put in the work for it. It really bugs me, especially in the state that our economy is, with people looking for jobs and unemployed people wishing that they had the professional opportunities that you do, and you come to work every day acting like you're God's gift to the office, and the fact that someone might ask you to actually do your job is an inconvenience to you. And that incredibly bugs me because no one's forcing you to be there. Like, yes, you're supposed to show up at 9, but if you don't and you walk away and you never come back, that's on you. And I think that everybody needs to make that choice when they wake up in the morning. It's like, if I want to be at work, I need to be at work, and I need to be present and happy and polite and respectful to the people around me. And if I'm having a bad day, then I'm having a bad day, and I don't need to make everyone else around me having a bad day just because we work together. What can you offer us that others cannot? A winning personality. I studied at the University of Alaska Fairbanks, and I got a 4-year degree in business administration and a minor in accounting, and I think that this sets me up to be an incredibly efficient office manager, because as much as we'd like to pretend that managing is just about people, it's much more about money and the business itself and all of the things that go into that. And I think that my education and my experiences grant me an ability to see not just the social side of an office setting, but also the financial side, which one can't exist without the other, because if you don't have the money to pay employees, then there are no employees to manage. And I think that in today's day and age, that having a financial understanding of payroll and business expenses and profits and assets and all of these things creates for you this big picture that makes it easier to manage, versus looking at an individual piece like, oh, but I'm good with people, I'll be great at managing them. You have to be good at everything, and I'd like to think that I am. Can you describe a situation in which your work was criticized? I worked at a bank. Over the summer I was a teller. You handle money every day. You handle huge amounts of cash every day. And that was incredibly stressful for me because I felt like I was handling people's livelihood, and you are, but I would forget that there was also a person behind that livelihood. And when they handed me an envelope full of cash, I would get absorbed in the fact that I was handling their cash. I would count it, I would recount it, I would put it in my drawer, I would put it in their account, and I wouldn't stop to look at them and say, oh, how was your day? Thank you for coming in. We appreciate that you're here. And my boss had to pull me aside and explain that as much as the money was stressing me out, I was capable of handling that and handling the customer in front of me. And it took me a little while, but eventually it became easy to have a a conversation at least at surface level with the people in front of me and still handle their cash efficiently. If you could choose any superpower, what would it be and why? I don't know if it counts as a superhero, but if I could get my Hogwarts letter and go study magic, that would be the dream for me. And I think that Harry Potter absolutely counts as a superhero. And having grown up on those books and spent my whole life reading them and grown up with those characters, going to Hogwarts would be about the greatest experience I could ever have. And then that would be something real I could offer in the workplace that nobody else would be able to.